Hey guys, Andy Albright here, fired up out of my mind. I'm in rainy Paris. Hopefully you can see the Eiffel Tower in the background. What an icon, what a beautiful mystery for people to check out. Last night we had dinner there under the shadows of the Eiffel Tower with several of the leaders in the Alliance. And what a bonding, relationship building time. What I want to talk to you about is not the Eiffel Tower, not the Bonjour Tour. I want to talk to you about the contest that we're running right now, because the ones to Paris are in Paris. It's the people that are back home that didn't earn or win the Paris trip. I want y'all to come with us on an all-expense-paid trip to Alaska. We'll fly up to Seattle, Washington. We'll get on this ridiculous cruise ship and go down the Inner Passage and go out to Alaska. Let me tell you this, hot chocolate on the top of that boat, looking at a glacier at about a mile off. It's massive. You'll never forget it. We did it about 16 years ago, and we haven't quit talking about it. That's why we're going back again. I want you to experience it. If you're not part of our team, you can become a part of the team, and the next few months, earn that trip. It'll give you a chance to build relationship, meet top executives with the insurance companies, meet our top people, and network. Build friendships that will last a lifetime. Here's what you got to do. The right thing. You got to get on the phone and start making calls. You got to get appointments. You got to get referrals. We'll show you how to do the whole thing. If you're part of our team, you didn't win Paris, we miss you. We almost canceled the trip because you didn't make it. We don't want to be sad next year. We want you to earn it and win it. We love you. Do what it takes so that we are cutting films with you from Alaska back home at the other people that didn't make it. Okay? Come with us. Love you. It's going to be a great trip.
In the latter part of 2019, the Alliance and Foresters Financial ran a contest, the Fire Drill event, in which the top 12 veterans and 3 rookies, based on Foresters production, could earn their way to here, Toronto, Canada, and the Foresters Financial home office.
We're in Toronto! Oh my gosh, this has been the most incredible experience. So yesterday I arrived to Canada. It was freezing cold when we got off the plane. Today we're at Foresters headquarters, and we have been able to meet the whole Foresters team. I mean, from operations to the indexing side, everybody, the CEO is here. He's been spending time with us. I've really enjoyed being here also with the leaders of the company. I mean, the Inner Six are here, and I mean, from Diane Lamping, Stephen Davies, Andy Riddle, I mean, so many of the leaders have been pouring into us while we've been on this trip. Going and staying at the Fairmont Royal York, the hotel is beautiful. We walked in, there was a huge Christmas tree lit up for the holidays. And I mean, everything from the room to the concierge, everything has been amazing. We went over to George's restaurant and had a 6-course meal. Never eaten 6 courses before in my life, so that was amazing. We had lamb, tuna, just all types of desserts, and it was really, really incredible to be there. We are going to a Raptors and Miami Heat game, and I am so fired up. I know nothing about basketball, but we're getting the 5-star, all-expense-paid treatment. to go, the VIP experience.
At Foresters Financial, we are so proud of our relationship with the Alliance. It's been a long-term relationship, and we do not see it going anywhere but up in the foreseeable future.
Come with me. I will be back here in Toronto next year. Guys, there's going to be so many contests going on, so many opportunities, so many different things that Andy and the team is doing to make sure that we're in position for 2020. Get fired up. I mean, this is crazy. So I'm excited. See you guys in 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Brought to you today from beautiful Louisville, Kentucky. Now, let's hear it for our special host, Mike Leventovic.
Hey, glad to be here, everybody. It is a fun Wednesday as we wrap up the end of May. Got some friends of mine joining us today. Here we are in Alliance Land, the TWC. Andy's living one of his dreams on a special trip coming back. I was talking to him the other night. He says to say hi to all of you. Just, getting him to share some of the cool things he's doing up there on this trip to Alaska. You could say he's doing a little bit of a site visit and some conservation work ahead of time for our trip for next year. He's just sharing some exciting experiences and being off the grid. He just come back in when I was talking to him, and he's just cool. He's just, he gets energized to come back and do some work because he takes some time to go out and live his dream. And he and I are texting again this morning and just talking about, he's already thinking about schedule, and he's like, yeah, I'm planning this, and this for these couple of times in June. And hey, we need to be here, need to be there. So it's just like, it's amazing how when you get a taste of your dream or you get to live a dream, then you realize how you got there. It gets you hungry to get back in the game. I don't know about you, but it's like having these experiences along the way is part of the fun, but definitely getting there and having the bigger thing is some people say it's all about the journey. Yeah, the journey's cool, but Bo, you got to get there. It's like, yes, but let's get somewhere. It's like we're going on a journey to get somewhere. So that is a big part of that too. All right. Well, look, speaking of getting there and getting somewhere along the way, we got some folks behind the scenes talking about our leaderboards. And I always love leaderboards. Maybe it's because I know there's people on my team that are there and I like to see their success and kind of revel in it. So let's kind of go ahead and jump in and get rolling there. If you want to go ahead and get our weekly leaderboards. Thank you, Steve. Okay. All right, so here we go. So submitted premium, the top 3 agents. Mr. Tip, man, this guy, he lives in bear country. I don't know if he's selling bear insurance or what, but this guy, I see him up there knocking in $23,000 on 3 applications. Way to go, Tim. And I don't even know if Tim's full-time yet. He's working in some deals and got some other things going on, but I like this guy. He's awesome. Megan Wood, she'll be joining us here shortly. 33 applications submitted, $21,059. And then Mr. Joseph, too, with 11 applications for $19,480 submitted. Some people say, well, it's only submitted. I know, but it ain't going to get issued if you don't submit it. So, but with that said, we do like our issue paid leaderboards because that's really where, that's where we know it's complete. And so as we start to look at, hey, those that popped in a bunch, Rianne, Clow and Mike and Brittany Rodriguez team, 8,400 on 11 apps. Jeff Schultz over there in Texas. Hey, Jeff, 9,200 on 10 apps. Way to go. Stephanie Rodriguez out there killing it. 17 apps, $10,981. Jonathan and Megan Yakey, There's a power couple, 11,137 on 8 apps. Joseph 2, you see his team hitting up all of his leaderboard, 11,500 on 5 applications. Marvin and Julissa Soy, half of the M&M team, 11,800 on 6 applications. Jessica Phillips, man, I see her within that Facebook group posting stuff. 12,620 apps on 20, or premium 12,600 on 24 applications. Kyle and Janina Wilson, part of Olga and Jason's team, down over in Florida, 15 apps, 13,300. Jason Molina, part of the Rockstar Roberts team, 13,300 on 5 apps. Chris Manifold, 15,925 on 16 applications, coming to life, doing some big things. And okay, Georgia, I'm going to mess up her name. Q or Kiao, if I'm saying that right. Chen, I think it is. Did she go by Lisa? Someone's going to have to correct me on that. I think it was Lisa or Linda is how she goes by, but if I'm hoping I'm saying it right, Kiao Chen, with 23,762 in premium on 4 applications, one of those being an IUL. And then Megan Wood, 48 applications, $27,785 in premium. Now, for some of y'all, I got good news. Megan will share about this later. Her son's out of school, and they just got a new house, and Megan's going to be spending some more time with her son. So she might kind of lower her premium down to like 18 to 20,000 a week. Some of y'all might have a chance to catch her, but just a heads up in case you're wondering. Okay, 48 applications. You know, in case you're wondering, is that luck? No, not when you're doing 48 applications a week. It's not luck. Okay, but our top 5 annuity producers, and you know what? You listen to her. She's managing her ego. She's fighting to stay on top. You know, we'll talk about why she's doing it and why she sticks with the mundane. It's part of our theme today is you know, mastering the mundane and sticking with the mundane. And part of doing the mundane is you got to have a reason to do it. And she's got some reasons that drive her. And you know, we'll kind of weave that in here through today's call. When we're talking about what's the grind, what's the work, what's the mundane, what's it look like? And the people we got here today, they're in it and just going to try to give you, you know, some kind of perspective of what it's looking like. But let's hit our annuity producers. Steve Bradley on the Riddles team, 60,000. Lisa Fairman on the Lampy team, 62,000. Scott Mills with my buddy Alex Avian's team, 79,000. Will and Anna Pedroza, my buddy's out of Florida, part of Patrick Connor's team, 100,000. And Joe and Tawny Walker, if he ain't barbecuing, he's selling annuities, 109,000. Way to go, guys. Top 3 Foresters issued paid agents. Jonathan Megan Yankee, 3 apps, 6,400. Andrea Poston, 10 apps, 7,200. Stephanie Rodriguez, 5 apps, 8,800. Now, that kind of gives you some metrics on the selling side of our business, which is doggone important. But as we're a growing company and we're a networking company and we're building a business kind of company, what you're doing to build your business and help us grow the companies is massively important. And so we've got our next leaderboard here with those people that are doing the recruiting. And Alfonso and Michelle Thomas down in Miami got one started and contracted. Edwin Elam on Olga and Jason Mathis teams got one started. Trip Sharp, part of the ABTF, got one started. Chantel Wright, part of Adam and Beth Pat's teams, got 2 started. Brandon Ashley Beal getting 3 started. Adam and Beth Pat's getting 3 started. Kyle and Gina Wilson getting 3 started. Andy Riddle getting 3 started. Look at that. Kyle and Gina, Andy Riddle, Olga and Jason Mathis, all 3 part of that Riddle organization. But Andy with 3, Olga and Jason Mathis with 7, and Paul Roberts and the rock stars there at his office. And I know Tori Roberts was a big part of that, getting 7 people started last week. Way to go. Strong mojo, guys. All right. So thank you, Stephen, for putting that up. You know, I was talking to Andy and watching him live a dream and just being able to talk to him and him sharing some photos and that time he spent with Spencer. And then, like, I look at what are the things that my family is able to do. You know, it's like, and we've got 4 kids. We're going to have 2 in college next year. We've got, you know, 1 in a private high school, 1 in a private elementary school. And, yeah, I think we're almost at our tuition bill. This next school year is going to be like right at 100,000. And in some ways, like, ooh, that's a lot of money. But I'm like, you know what? That was always a dream of mine. Just to be able to say, hey, we can stroke a check, take care of our kids' college, and to be able to do that. And that was a big deal. just to be able to say, yeah, we got this, we can handle that. Now, to be clear, they got some skin in the game, and they got a deal where they got to earn some of that. So it's like education ain't free. In case my kids are listening, which some of them might be, it's like I'm like, hey, we confront it, and we ain't scared of doing that, and we can do it in cash. We ain't got to go through the student loans and blah blah blah. So now we still wanted to earn the Forrester scholarship. It's like you still want to get as much free stuff as you can. So that's big, but just like that was a dream for us. I mean, we built our business so we could do that and still have time to do fun stuff. Another dream of ours has been an annual dream. Like this time was next Thursday, I think we're flying up to New Hampshire. We've got this resort farm we've gone to. We started when our youngest daughter was like 1. We started going up there in 2002, and we've gone every year for the past 21 years, with the exception of last year because of COVID. And so it's exciting to get back there again. It's a beautiful farm. It's up near a mountain. We climb them. We got all these rituals and family and friends that we get to connect with. And the fact that we still got family, my parents and other people that are still healthy enough to join us and do this stuff is crazy fun. It's an opportunity. And that's been one of our dreams, to have certain ritual travel trips that we're able to do and continue on. And I don't know what yours are, but for me, this is like a 4-day trip. And it's kind of a no big deal, but it's a big deal. And for me, as we go up there and we spend time and we disconnect a little bit, but then it's like we're itching to get back because we're like, hey, we need to be able to set up so someone else can join us. Like, who else are we drafting to come along and start living like this? Who else, is going with us? What's the next big trip that we're looking at taking? What's the next big thing we're going to get to do? And we've got ours, and hopefully, you've got yours, whatever that is. Maybe it's like, hey, you want to do something. Maybe it's giving at a higher level. Maybe it's different. I don't know what your thing is or what your time thing is, but it's like, and what I love about this business is Andy calls it, the business has been the dream machine, and you build it right, it will allow you to do more things. You'll think of it, you'll dream it, you'll be able to do it. And if I can just get you stirring a little bit and thinking, what's the one thing that you just, dadgum, I got to have it. Here's what I got to do. And some people, hey, maybe you're getting started, and right now your dream is to move the water level from below your eyeballs to under your nose. Maybe your dream is just to be able to be like, and take a breath. Maybe your dream is to get the water level down here so that, you just feeling like some sense of steadiness. And so I don't know what your thing is, but here, guess what? I understand having the water level here, and just kind of barely making it and wondering what's that like. And so for me, it was fighting to be liquid enough and have enough income and have enough pools of money to deal with problems that I didn't have to worry about problems. And, and it's like people say, hey, you can be happy without money. Yeah, but it's easier not to worry and have the stress of some of the problems if you've got some of the money things taken care of. And and in this program, I'm just like, I don't think there's any excuse not to solve your money problem, And so maybe you're like, man, you don't understand. They turn the lights on. I thought, okay, what's that, a $200, $300, $400 bill because you didn't pay your electric bill? That's helping one more family or getting to helping a family, right? So I don't know what the one thing is where you're at, but I also know that once you can get the water level down here, it's a little bit easier to dream. Sometimes it's tough to see clearly when, you're still getting water in your face because you're still dealing with whatever life is throwing at you, and you don't have the money to take care of some problems. Like these people that, it's like, I got to change my own oil. God, it's like, I remember those days too. Or, remember Stephen Davies talking about feeling his tires and petting his tires like it was a critter because it had fur coming out. Wondering if he was going to make it to the next appointment because he couldn't afford a full set. He might have to go and be like, oh, we got a sale on a full set. I just take one tire a day. Maybe a half a tire, maybe a retread if you got them on special, but just like that kind of thinking and just understanding you can get out of that quickly. What's quick? How fast? I don't know. Maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's 2 months, maybe it's 4 months. I don't know what it is for you, but it's going to take having this thing that you're pushing for, and it's going to take getting into the mundane, committing to figuring it out, and being all in for a little bit to change where you're at, to change your trajectory. And the people I got with us, I think you're going to see they've done some things to dig into the mundane more, to change their trajectory, maybe having a reason for doing it. So, going to kind of jump in. I'm going to start with James and Pam. Hey, y'all.
Hi.
And hey, so, I know more people are getting to know you. Like, you guys are becoming more dominant on leaderboards, doing bigger things. But for those that don't know you, come on, give me some background of where you were at professionally before you got started. A little bit about your family and where y'all are living.
Yeah, we started in New York, born and raised, and we decided to open a furniture store. And it was right when the 9/11 tragedy happened, when we decided to get out of New York and we moved to Arizona. We've been in Phoenix ever since then, and we opened the furniture store, and then we expanded that to a couple of different locations. And we were making a bunch of money and working 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. And then when the economy crashed in 2008 and 9, we kind of stuck it out for as long as we could. And then eventually we lost everything. And we went from kind of one extreme to the other, where we had a bunch of money and no time to enjoy it, to having a whole bunch of time and no money to do anything with. So we've been living a life of extremes. So we found the Alliance in 2016. We just answered an ad on Indeed, and we spoke to Joe Dukes, and we met Paul Epstein and a couple other people here in Phoenix, and we kind of loved it right from the beginning, because it was an opportunity to have something that we weren't used to, which was a little bit of everything, time and money, to enjoy, the best of both worlds. And for the first few years, we kind of, did enough to get us where we wanted to be. And then Andy came out with the 40-40 challenge, and Pam said, I want to do that. And the rest was history. That was when we decided to jump in feet first and kind of make sure we were putting in the effort that was required to get what we wanted out of the business.
Okay, so let's talk. All right, so income-wise this year, how are you projecting in terms of how does this year rank in terms of previous years for y'all?
I would say double.
Yeah.
What we've done.
Yeah. Okay, all right, so doubling. All right, so you started talking about 40-40, and I'm going to bring up that leaderboard later, so Stephen, just cue that up. Not now, but in a little bit, we'll get to that. But the 40-40 Fight Club, we started talking about that in January, just talking about that. So as they started to talk about it, what was kind of y'all's reaction to it? Because I'm looking at that, y'all near the top of that, you've been invited to a couple of events because of that. But before even getting invited, what kind of got you to embrace that?
Well, I think it was the fact that we wanted more out of, we saw what was possible with what we were doing. I mean, Andy always talks about N24/7. Well, for the first 5 years, we were kind of like N10/3.
A new club, a new license plate. Hey, Olga, you can get that for someone else on your team. I saw her post her new license plate. N10/3.
N10/3. So we realized, we sat down and we were like, look at what we're getting from this business, putting in minimal effort. What's possible if we put in maximum effort? And so between Andy, kind of throwing the gauntlet out there, and us deciding that we wanted more out of it, we just decided to put our heads down and get to work. And a lot of it also had to do with giving back to, because we were so grateful for what Andy created and all the help we were getting from you guys and Joe and everybody else on the team, that we figured, what's the best way we could help give back and show our appreciation is to help you out or get more bonus override money. So by us going out and doing more work and creating more of an income for ourselves, we're also helping the people that we were mostly appreciative for.
And also helping our team as well. And and looking at the leaders who helped us and wanting to be that type of leader for people on our team. And, for the whole team, Andy invited us out for national convention in January, and we were so grateful to be invited. And we wanted to make sure that we stepped up. And then when you and Noel put the Monday and Thursday dial days together, we felt even more included into the team and not out on our own. Just actually being part of something bigger. Everyone always says they want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And y'all laid it out for us, and we jumped on and haven't looked back. And, we do our best to follow what the team's doing.
Okay. And so you guys felt the call to step up. So some things clicked there. Now, from a selfish perspective, what else? So certainly leaning into the team, being a bigger part, giving back to the team, that's certainly a very, very huge thing. What are some of the reasons that you have internally, some of the things that's pushing y'all to move? What are some of the things that you like, oh, I can taste this. Here's something big that we're looking to do. Here's a reason we're really fighting. Is there something else that's out there for you in addition? Like maybe there is, maybe there's not. I don't know. But what's something big for y'all?
Well, one thing, our daughter is a junior. She's going to be a senior in high school next year. And we want her to be able to go to any school. We don't want her to be limited to a community college because we don't have the funds or we don't, qualify for financing. We want to be able to, like what you're doing for your kids, to be able to have her have the education that she wants without having to worry about financing it. So I think that was a big driver for us, just to be able to give her that support and the backing to let her know that whatever she decides to do with her life, that we can financially back her.
Yeah, and another thing for as far as we're concerned was to be able to share this opportunity with other people. I mean, it's massive to be able to offer somebody what we have. I mean, the relationships that we've built with dozens of people in the Alliance and all of the different people that are here to help us, and to be able to share that with somebody. And it's not like, you're trying to bring them into something so that you can benefit from it. It's more, you're trying to bring them into something so they can enjoy the same lifestyle that we all get to enjoy. I mean, the people who go out and work get to enjoy a lifestyle that nobody else really can enjoy because of their schedule. I mean, if people that are working a job, I mean, it may be a great job, but you're still stuck in a job. You're working set hours, you're working a set schedule, you have to answer to bosses and superiors, and you don't have any of that with the Alliance. And we want to share that with other people and kind of help them duplicate what we're doing so they can enjoy the same financial freedom and time freedom that we get to enjoy.
Yeah, that's big. That's real big. Okay. So as you guys have kind of developed this desire to get out there and you started digging on the 40/40 now, walk us through, what's it look like? Like, give me an idea of, what are some of the things that y'all have specifically done that's changed? Like, where have you stepped up to what are some of the mundane things, James, that you're doing more of or that you're doing now that you weren't doing before?
I would say the biggest thing is probably door knocking. It's something that we never really did much of. We were always just about the dialing. I mean, Pam, if she has to make 1,000 dials a week, she's willing to do that, to book appointments. But there's a lot of people that just don't ever answer the phone, no matter how many times you dial on them. And something that we never really enjoyed doing or wanted to do was driving to people's houses and knocking on their doors. But it's a necessary evil. And it's, something that we just got our heads around when we started with the 40/40 challenge. And it's something that you just have to do to get people, to get in front of them one way or the other. And so that has probably added about 10 appointments a month to our schedule because we're doing something that we weren't willing to do before. And so that's probably the biggest thing in terms of being able to get in front of more people. And then also just following the CRM and looking at the daily schedule and things like that on the CRM that Robbie and Andy have created for us. I mean, that's that's a gold mine. It's unbelievable the amount of income that has come from that, and being not just income for us, but being able to help our clients with more things that we might have normally forgotten about, like not knowing that they're turning 65 and not knowing that, you know, it's time to call them for their birthday. And then they call you back and go like, you know, we got your birthday card, or we appreciate the call for your birthday. And by the way, my daughter just, you know, retired and she needs to move her money, you know, things like that. And it's just created a whole nother network of additional add-on sales and being able to help our clients in more ways than we normally would have, because it's all right there at our fingertips.
So more door knocks, more calls to the Today tab. Two simple things. And by the way, you know, we had done a very short video a few months back of Megan talking about the door knocking. Then at the Spring Summit, Noelle and Megan were on stage, and they went into it for 30 minutes on every little nuance, so just about every nuance they could think of Megan's door knocking routine. And that was posted last week. If y'all haven't seen it, it's on the Alliance YouTube channel. And so if you'll scroll down, I know it's got a lot of views, but if you're trying to take that, you're like, so here's my pledge to anybody that's listening now. I'm going to make sure that you're going to get something that you can take from today that you can implement into your business on the selling and recruiting side, that you can get value. So the first thing is, if you're not using the door knocking tool to get a hold of more people, to get the second squeeze out of your leads, to make sure you connect with everybody that wants help. If you're not doing that, go watch what Megan's doing. And you know, like Megan, or if you're jealous of her, and that's fine, but learn from her. You know, like, you look at what's there, because she wasn't booking appointments via door knocks a year ago. This has all evolved over a 12-month span. And she's just done a lot of it and gotten better, and she's now more efficient in how she does it in that way. But I would tell you, watch that, study it, do it, and I think it can make you better. So that's a big piece there. Okay, talk about on the building side, because again, on the 40/40, like, y'all, you're up there at the top. So what's changed on the recruiting and building side? What are y'all doing different there?
We're talking to more people. That's the bottom line. To, you know, we've gotten out of our comfort zone and we're listening to what people are telling us to do. We're talking to people at the gas pump. We're talking to who's ever serving us at a restaurant, who's ever standing in line next to us at the supermarket. We're going back to our phones, calling people, reaching out on Facebook. I mean, we're just really talking to people about an opportunity. And if they want to help us out with, you know, some of the clients, especially here in Phoenix, you know, we're really looking to grow the business here. There's a lot of clients that need help, and we're just making it really simple. Just, you know, this is what we're doing, and just keeping it sweet, simple, and direct. And I think that's been working a lot, talking and just going back and talking to people, sort of like that drip, just saying a little bit, you know. I think you talked about the whole dating thing, like, date them, you know, don't give them it all up front, you know, just give them a little bit, and then like a little taste on the first date, and then talk to them again, and just kind of, you know, let them experience what it's like to be part of the team. And I think that's been helpful.
And then if you're doing 40 appointments a week, which we try to do, you know, whether they're on the phone or virtually or in person, if you talk to all 40 of those appointments about the fact that we're looking for help, that's 40 approaches. So you're doing your 40/40 just by doing your 40. So that's something that we make a conscious effort to make sure that whoever we talk to, whether we're trying to help them with insurance or something else, that we also always bring up the point that, you know, we're always looking for help.
Okay. So now, because you've been doing this, you've been, and as part of the 40/40 Fight Club group, you've been reporting your numbers, correct?
Yeah.
And so as you're reporting your numbers and you're doing that, you guys, it looks like you've hit, I think, 5 different times if I'm looking at when we pull up this leaderboard, but you guys got invited to 2 different trips. Talk about some of the rewards that you picked up. I mean, the trips themselves, but what else happened for the people that qualified and got selected to the 40/40 Fight Club trips?
It's
It's been amazing. I
It's
mean,
incredible.
yeah, it's like it's one of the driving factors to continue to do it. I mean, the rewards are, but just the first trip alone, it was a $1,500 lead credit. We got to spend like 4 days on Treasure Island in a suite that, you know, Andy paid for. He paid for all of the meals, and it wasn't like, you know, Paul's Jr. It
Right.
was top 5-star restaurant. We had lobster and filet mignon, and it was just absolutely amazing.
And
All the things he gave us.
aside from that, like he gave us himself.
Right.
You know, we had Andy
Yeah.
like right there with 20 other people.
That
Like
was huge.
full on access, which I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that he just opened himself up. He and Jane, and you know, to be able to just sit with them at a meal and just kind of talk about stuff and listen to what's going on and be with the other leaders that are there and the rest of our team. There's, until you experience it, you don't know. It's an incredible feeling to be part of a group of people, like-minded people with the same goals, that are open and sharing. There's no secrets. There's no, you haven't been playing in the sandbox long enough, or, you know, you're not related. It's just an amazing feeling that Andy would just open up and give anyone access to himself and his knowledge,
Right.
just by following the system.
Putting in the effort. If you put in the effort, everything else kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah, no doubt on that. Okay, well, look, I appreciate y'all sharing again. Since y'all are near the top of that 40-40 Fight Club leaderboard, let me share that. Steven, can you pull that up? And, you know, if I look, some of the new people, first off, 40-40, so that's booking and running 40 appointments in a week, and it's approaching or interviewing 40 unique or different people in a week. But what if I didn't do it in a week? That's fine. If you'll track it, and maybe you did 37 appointments, but you did 3 more the next week, and maybe you talked to 27 people but got 13 more people. By the time you can carry over your totals and then report once you've hit 40-40 and then submit it, and that's how you get on the leaderboard. Okay, so we've got some new winners on here. So Caroline Paul, part of Jerry and Cassie Burbage's team, got herself the hoodie for her first time. Way to go. Jose Compton got his pants are on the way. Your pants is on the way, buddy, for getting your second week in. And then the hats if you get your third week. And then we got a tumbler going to Jessica Phillips. I see her name moving and shaking. And then, you know, James and Pam, as we mentioned it, they're in 4th place with having done it 4 times, 5 times. Megan Wood up there having done it 4 plus 2, so 6 times. And Jason Olga Mathis having done it 7 times. Get yourself on this leaderboard. Get yourself exposure. Get yourself lead credit. Get yourself some better thinking. And I think it can help you blow some things up. So, Stephen, thank you for sharing this leaderboard. I appreciate that. James and Pam, one last thing. Something you said, and I know there's some people that are focused on recruiting agents, and some are focused on growing their business with agents. So we need you to be recruiting, but then as you hire them, the way you think about them, and like you said, the way we were served, James, talk about what that means to you, and how your availability for someone that's getting started, maybe how that's changed or how you think differently now.
Well, we want to be available to people 24/7 because we know what it's like in the beginning. I mean, nobody comes into this as a professional. And so we went through the struggles just like everybody else does in the beginning. And we hope to be able to prevent the new people that are coming on the team to have to struggle the way that we did if we just stress the point of copying the system, not trying to figure it out themselves, utilizing all of the resources that Andy has made available and the resources that are available to them through the team, through you and Noel, through Joseph, through Chris Norris, through Gina Hawk, through NAA University. I mean, we want to make sure that they're copying the system, the formula for success, instead of having them figure it out on their own and failing and being miserable. It's more now kind of plugging them into other people. So now, like when we have new team members, instead of trying to do it all ourselves, we have you get on the phone with them, or Joseph gets on the phone with them, and then other people are helping them grow their team and helping them with the in-home presentation, and you're listening to Charity on the dialing calls so that they can get, hone their skills on booking appointments. I mean, there's just so many resources for new people to tap into to pretty much guarantee their success as long as they're willing to do the work. That's pretty much all it takes is putting forth the effort and duplicating the system. And we know that they're going to be successful. And so that's what we stress more now than anything else, is just tapping into the resources and duplicating the system.
Okay, that's big. Oh, all right. And it's like, I'll use another analogy. It's like when you bring someone on, and if you've never gotten someone started, if you're a parent, I don't know if you can remember, y'all have one child, your daughter. When y'all first gave birth, did y'all kind of know what you're doing, or were you asking your parents questions?
We still ask because they're new phases, and you're right. It's just like an age. They're new phases. They're just starting, and then you need help getting them just started, and then they get in a couple, and then they think they know everything. Get to that point where they know more than you, but they don't. So then you have to help them get through that part so that they don't fail because they think they know everything, and then they do fail, and then you need to help them. That. Letting them know that it's okay to fail and to just keep moving forward. And so it doesn't ever end. And I'm sure that, when our agents get to be 5 years down the line, they're going to have new challenges and they're going to need help from a different perspective, just like every step of the way.
Yeah, that's big. All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's like, I think bringing age on board is a lot like being a parent. I mean, you got to kind of know a little bit how, and you might screw up. It's another reason. That's why it's good to have a lot of kids in case one don't make it. But
you don't know about our first ones that didn't make it.
Oh, crazy. All right. Let's see. Jake and Ray, y'all's here, and y'all got some good things going on. We've been watching, having fun. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, y'all just had a new agent writing their first apps in the field today.
Yes, sir. Anthony Zingerman.
All right. Well, I think that's a great story in itself. How'd y'all find Anthony?
He just kind of fell in our laps. Like, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, my name's..." No, I'm kidding. Like, I'm Anthony Zingerman. I want to get my license and work with you. It was in a way that I never thought would have ever happened. And I know we were just talking about it with you and Joseph. And you guys have probably been talking about it the whole time, but we're a networking company. We work with people, we build relationships. And when Andy started talking about that book, First Year in Network Marketing, we got it and started reading it. And I kind of had to retrace my steps in that first chapter, talking about the 6-month rule, going back to people you talk to, because sometimes it's not that it's not the right opportunity for them, it's just not the right timing. I look at myself. If someone came to me in my first year of working in the movies, I would have said not no, but you know what, no. And I had talked to a buddy of mine I went to elementary school with in New Jersey. Hadn't talked to him for 14 years. Talked to him in the beginning of 2020. And came through the summer. Andy mentioned that book, started reading the book, and came across that 6-month rule. So I was like, well, I mean, what else can he say? My buddy Steve Adams I spoke to, and he was in a football career. He said, "Hey, this doesn't work out. I'd love to join." I said, "Okay, awesome." Talked to him after reading the book, followed up with him. I said, "Hey, how's everything going? What you got going on, this and that." We went through, and he was like, "Hey, still working on this, but do you remember Anthony Zingerman?" And I said, "It's been a while." It's like 3rd grade, 4th grade. And I was like, "Yeah, I remember Anthony." He said, "Well, he mentioned that he was wanting to get an insurance." I said, "No way." I said, "Cool." I said, "Send me his number." I don't have it. I didn't have a cell phone in elementary school, so I don't think I have his number. And so I called him up and we started talking, and he was already working on his license, and lo and behold, just today he wrote his first application off of a lead, and he's fired up and ready to change some people's lives.
That's big. So I want to restate that. So friend that you talked to January like of last year, you talked to again last year, and he wasn't ready, but he knew someone that was. And you reached down, talked to him. He's even talking to another company, and you rebuilt the relationship, and now we've got him moving. And literally today, this morning, he's written his first app. How much premium?
$14.85, I believe.
I ain't about the premium, but I am about the premium, you know. It's not all about the premium, no, but it's a big part.
It has it for making $400 an hour. He was all pretty good.
That's amazing. Okay, so again, for people that may not know you, where y'all living? What's your family look like? What'd y'all do before?
So we live in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Jake and I, we have 2 daughters, so they're 7, 5. And prior to this, I was in the medical field, so I always did CNA, dental assisting, and then when I got started in this, I was in the middle of my nursing school.
Okay.
And I was working in the movie industry here, putting together movie sets here in Albuquerque, and was doing that for four and a half years before Beret went and met Jerry and Jared Gonzalez and told me about this thing.
Now, you know what? So we talked about doing the mundane here. So people might think, oh, he built a movie set. I bet you he's best friends with Adam Sandler being out there in New Mexico. It's like, did he get him? I mean, I bet you that was glamorous making movie set. How glamorous was that?
I don't think I ever had a nosebleed in my life until I started working there. They got this particle board called MDF, and there's like real wood, and then there's MDF, and it's like, it's wood shavings glue put together mixed with wood glue, and they remake board, and it's actually illegal in the U.S. to make. They make it in Canada because it'll give you cancer. And breathing that stuff in, getting it all clogged up in your nose, and waking up in the middle of the night with blood rushing out of my nose, I was like, this isn't right. So I was like, I could probably do something better for the next 20 years of my life. So I was always looking. I just didn't know it was this.
So what you're saying is it wasn't that glamorous. You were doing the mundane for someone else to have the glamour.
My face wasn't on the screen. So.
It wasn't the credits once, though. It wasn't the credits.
Like the assistant nosebleed wiper to the gaffer. So something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here you are, kind of as you sit there and look at your business, what are y'all projecting income wise, like in terms of a run rate as you're growing your run rate for this year, and what you're looking at as you move? What are y'all starting to believe your run rate's going to be income wise at the end of this year going into next year? What are y'all speaking?
So I know originally we had set a target of $300,000 in income, and I know right now, we're growing. We just hit our promotion and everything. So right now we're at 70,000 year to date. So that's huge compared to where we were, but it's not necessarily where we like to be for our target. But we've got some things picking up, and I just feel like with the glow bonuses, the new commission structure with the carriers, our back end money coming in, I do think that's very possible, and a huge target of ours is to help other people get up and running. And yes, I know the overrides are nice, but really that's not what it's about for us right now. I want to help other people make deals. I want them to be getting $15,000-$20,000 a month deposited in their account.
There you go. And I mean, if you think about it, okay, 70,000, few days left this month. Let's say you can get close to 75, call it, and we're at the 1/3 mark is 1/5 or 5 months in. Okay, so 5 months. So, hey, when like you said, you built your run rate, just got promotion to a new commission level. You got new agents getting started. Actually, you know what? 300,000 is very, very possible. Certainly being at the run rate, but then you've hit that some weeks already. I know y'all seen some. What's your biggest weekly paycheck y'all have had?
I don't know about weekly, but I
13.
Yeah, I think it was 13,000 maybe.
In a week. Okay. So you had some big weeks. What's your biggest month been?
32,000. And that was in December. Then last month also was our second biggest at 24,000.
27.
Or sorry, 27.
27,000 last month. So seeing those stacking some more big months is going to be doable, and you're going to stack some bigger months here. Okay. So what's driving you guys? Like, why? We'll talk more about some of the things you're doing on the mundane side, but why are you guys pushing it? Why are you doing it?
I think there's a couple of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons, and I know you're touching on with James and Pam on this, like why 40/40, why those? For us, for me anyways, it's just I want to be around the people. I want to be around you and Noel. I want to be around Joseph. I want to be around Andy and the team. That's really what it is for me. I want that association in our life. I'm kind of at a point where I love the people I used to hang out with, but I don't want to be stuck there anymore. So for me, it's just, getting around people that are going to help improve our situation, our lives, our financial aspect, and then of course our kids. Definitely, I like to eat good food, and I want to travel with them, and I want them to know, I want them to have expensive taste so they can have a standard for themselves when they get older.
There you go. Hey, speaking of getting older, I was reading an article last night, talking about how, your ability to recover and deal with certain conditions, diseases, things that happen with you is good. But certainly, as people don't like to talk about it, your socioeconomic status has a big impact on your longevity. So you want to live long. It don't hurt to be bumping up on your socioeconomic status. Some people say it's not right that if you've got more money that you can get better health care. I said, I can't argue that it's right or not. I just know what I got to do to get it. It's like, is it make enough? You can share some of the people that you want to live a long time. And if you're like looking at someone, might have one who's like, I don't know how long I want him to live, but all these others, yeah, let me help them out, So, all right. Just talk about some of the specific things you guys are doing that you've stepped up, that you've stepped up. Like, what have you changed? What are some different things you've dug in and bored more on? Give me some more insight on that.
Yeah, I think, it all started with, when we saw it roll out from 20 appointments to 40 appointments a week, and you and Noel had, challenged everyone on the team with the Zoom dial sessions of, hey, book 20 appointments on Monday, 10 for Tuesday, and 10 for Wednesday. And the first time we saw it, we were like, I think we dialed from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And that was even two of us. And we were like, we were drained. I remember you called us and you were like, hey, great job of booking your 20. We were out eating Vietnamese food with the girls. I don't think I'll forget it. And now it's like, we're done with them by noon. That's one big thing, is not giving up with it, staying consistent, because we thought it was, we wouldn't be able to do it. But as we started doing it, first time we hit it and so on, it staying consistent has been a huge thing. Our reinvestment back into the business. And then also it's been that sense of, hey, we're not just an insurance company. We network with people. We're here to build other people. And that's coming back to that book. It's just been, I was one of those people that if you saw someone you knew from school or family in the store, I was like, all right, go that way. Just go that way. Don't talk to them. And now with these masks, you can't tell who it is. And I've been able to change my thought process of just, hey, let's go talk to them. And I'll start yelling at them. Like, I remember, I thought I saw Evan Patzer in the airport. I was like, Evan. And Ray was like, that's not Evan Patzer. And I was like, well, it doesn't hurt. And so I started doing that with people in the store. I was like, just yelling people's names. I was like, well, if I don't know them, it's no big deal. But if I know them, they'll turn. And I did that to a buddy of mine I went to play sports with in high school. And it's crazy because he's fired up. He's got a couple people under him, one of them that used to work in insurance. So that's one big thing we've changed, is talking with people that we know, not being scared to, and just trying to think of anyone and everyone. I think our neighbor, we moved into a new home here. Our neighbor's in class, and him and his wife work in real estate. So hopefully they can help some families make it happen. It's just, you never know who's looking.
So focus on getting your 20 done and getting it done faster, more efficiently, like getting better. So it's not just doing it by now. Because I know some people, they'll be like, well, I've got to get my 20 booked today. Boy, it's going to be a long day. I should probably sleep in and get a good breakfast because it's going to be a long day. And then they like start about 9:30. And then, oh, it's going to be a long day. I need a break for lunch, 11:45. I don't know if I could go till 12:30. And then it's like, and I'm glad they're fighting, but it's just like, it's almost like you hear them talk about it. And it's like, oh, and then you look and it's like 3:00 and they've maybe done 102 dials. It's like, y'all know you can do 102 dials in 2.5 hours or 2 hours or 3 hours. It's like, it's just like, I don't know if it's occurred. So I love the idea of how far can I go? How fast can I get it done? Look at what it does to allow me to do other things. In fact, I got to give a shout out to Jared Gonzalez, who's helping a new agent. She booked like 24 appointments on Monday, and she was booking some for herself and some for another agent that needed some help. And just the fact that Jared was able to, because she's embracing how much she can do in a day, and it's how far can I go, and not just how fast can I get there. And just embracing, hey, yeah, you could say booking appointments ain't fun and sexy, or you got booking appointments is fun and sexy, man. I love it. I have fun booking appointments. Booking appointments is fun and easy. Let's get after it. Let's do it. Let's see how much I can do, and let's see if I can do it quickly and have more time to build or whatever else. I love the fact you're having fun reaching out to people and hitting it on different angles in that book. Or my first year network marketing, it's a very powerful book. And if you're new and you acknowledge, I think that's one of the things that if you want something big, if you can remind yourself, like for me, I wake up every day saying, I am growing a marketing and networking company. Not a network marketing company. My company is a marketing company, and we're networking and growing. And that's what my business is. And yes, insurance is the vehicle that we're using to help families. And yes, we've got leads to help them. And part of that marketing is making sure we're smart on lead flow. Part of that marketing is figuring, hey, we're smart on how we identify and how we're using different tools to find someone else to join our team. Because guess what? We're competing with everyone else to find good talent in this environment. We're competing with a lot of people. The world is out there looking for good people. You're competing with the Walmarts. You're competing with the Amazons. You're competing with the Apples and the Facebooks and whoever else is hiring good talent. And you might think, oh, well, I don't have a chance at winning. You do have a chance at winning. And you just got to think and be active. And who am I talking to? And how am I finding them? And am I helping? Am I being patient? And am I educating them? And you got to want to. And so I love that you guys have a want to. I love that y'all are stepping up. I love that y'all are moving and shaking. So that's big. Speaking of which, we got another leaderboard. Steven, if you want to pull up that $100,000 business builder bonus that Andy announced. This leaderboard is real. It's up here. And so this is for people that are building a business. And what's the metric we're using right now? The metric Andy's using is how many with legs have tickets to attend our family reunion event coming up in July 29th, 30th, 31st, and August 1st. So we're literally, I think, right at, I'm doing my math right, we're 9 weeks out from that event, okay? So if you're like, oh, 9 weeks out. And if you look at the leaders, if I just start, Michael Garrett, 4 legs. So if you're, to get, by the way, so this $100,000 is tax-free lead credit, same as cash, and it's anywhere from $1,000 up to $10,000. Michael Garrett, Dennis Lyons, Andrew Argenio, Annette Hare, Danny Johnson, Tim and Nikki Long, Stephanie Rodriguez, Marty, and Diana Doge, all with 4. And there's a bunch of other people 4 below there, but your personal production is what's moving you up. And so it's like Marty and Diana, hey, 2,400 because they're the best of the people with 4. Then we got Alan Hooley with 5, James and Cherish O'Barr, Louis Abate, Hallinell and Rosen. I love that. Hallinell got 5 legs coming. Dalen and Eli Simmons, Mark Hutchison, Megan Wood, all with 5. There's a $4,000 lead credit for Megan. And then as we keep moving to the 6s, Paul Howard, G. Chris Robinson, John Thornton, Rogers and Kim Straughter, Mia Fennell, Jen Miller, and Jake and Ray Joseph, y'all leading with the 6s because you got 25,800. And then 7, Buck Rollins, Muller, and Kerry and Mike Williams, each with 7. And Kerry and Mike Williams leading with 24,000 personal production. So personal production is a tiebreaker. Okay. Now, here's what's crazy. Agency managers are not eligible to compete. So if you're like, well, I can't beat a Paul Roberts, he ain't on here. What about Jason Ogilvy? He's not on here. They've been removed from the competition. So this is somebody that's not an agency manager. Here's a chance for you to go out and get a big chunk of cash for leads that you can use for yourself or your team. Use it however you want. Okay. I mean, you could use it and just buy a bunch of leads and print them and paste them on your walls if you wanted, but I'd suggest using it in a way that's effective. So understand it's there, it's powerful. Jake and Vray, since you're on this leaderboard, what are a couple of things you've done to find people and help them, learn about this conference event and get them excited about being there?
I think one of the biggest things is just every conversation that we're having, whether it's somebody that, it's just a follow up, already mentioning it, saying, hey, it's not too early to just put this date in your calendar. So just mentioning it every time that we're on the phone with them. Also, you guys have been a really big help promoting it. When we're getting people plugged into your guys' calls on Mondays and Thursdays, you guys are mentioning it, and it's kind of like, they don't want to feel left out because you're asking, okay, who's got their ticket? So it's almost like peer pressure, and we're trying to plug them into that so they're peer pressured into going.
Not for drugs. This is way better than drugs. It's like good peer pressure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, on that note, I think we've got a link because this discounted ticket offer expires on Monday, Memorial Day. So we got all of today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So like 5.5 days left. So if you're like, oh my gosh. So first thing, if you need to go, the ticket $289, and that includes any activities that happen on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It includes like 6 or 7 meals that are provided. So they're feeding you. And it's an all-inclusive ticket. Okay. So that's amazing to be able to do it at that price. If you was eating good for 6 meals and it cost you $15 or $20 a meal, I mean, there's like $120, $130 that ticket, whatever that is right there. So just kind of give you some sense of, okay, they're taking care of the food. You ain't got to go nowhere. But really, why are you there? You're there because you're serious about your business. You're there because you're trying to get better. You're there because either A, I got to get a better relationship with these carriers. I need more help as I'm working with more carriers. Maybe you're there because, man, I just need to learn more about how to recruit. And I got to talk to these people that are recruiting and growing better. Maybe you're there because you just need to network with more personal producers to get better at, maybe it's the door knocking and closing. Maybe you're there because you're doing more in the finding money and you just got to spend some more time with Chris Norris and the people at BAM and Revisor and understand, how do I do better at building my assets under management? Maybe you're there because you just like, hey, this whole Medicare thing is huge and I need to learn more about that. And I got to spend time meeting Kim Clark, Ivy Wilson, Gina Hawks, and the carriers involved in that. Maybe you're there because you've not been around people in the last year and you're like, I need to be around a team. Maybe you're there because you are part of the team and you're just like, yeah, I need this for me. Or maybe you're there because, I know my team's there and I need to lead them to be there. Maybe you're there because you just love 80s and 90s music and you want to meet Vanilla Ice. I said, hey, maybe there because you've read some of Brian Tracy's stuff and on goal setting, and you just need some time where you can focus and listen and connect with him to help clarify what it is you're doing and how do you get there faster, how do you achieve what you're really trying to achieve, and how are you honest with yourself about tracking your progress. So I'm not sure what it is, but understand to lock in the low ticket price at $289, you've got 5.5 days left. The good news, you don't need $289 to lock it in. You need to put down $50. You can go to the website. It's alliancefamilyreunion.com. Get in there. If you know someone on your team, and you're like, gosh, this was the right person, they'll be grateful if you set them up with saving $100 or $110 to get there, because after Monday night, it's going to jump to the $399 price. And, it's like, if you're going to go, let's go. If you're like, well, I'm not sure yet. Well, if you're not sure, you get the lower ticket price, and in worst case, you transfer your $50 credit to someone else, but you probably find a way to apply that to someone else on your team as you're going. But get yourself a ticket. If there's someone new that you believe in, help them get registered, help them do it quickly. You don't want to be one of the ones missing out. I believe this could be one of the biggest watershed events for the Alliance. As we look at what's happened with paycheck growth, as we look at what's happening with the other opportunities that are helping us grow our revenues, and the number of new people coming on board that are hungry, that have been, stymied a little bit because of COVID, but they've been fighting and grinding, and they're starting to see and hit some new levels. You're going to want to be around that energy, and those are the people that are going to be there. This will be one of our biggest events we've ever had in history. We might have people swinging from the ceilings. It could be that crazy. So I would just tell you, hey, if it's for me, I want to be there. You want to be there. Talk about it like it's coming up next week, even though it's 9 weeks away. But the myth is I have plenty of time. The myth is I have plenty of time. Oh, I got plenty. No, you don't. Hurry up. Back, do it now. I won't be offended if you open up another window on your computer and get in and register now. So that would be my thinking for you. All right. So, guys, proud of you for leading the way with 7 legs. What do y'all have for a goal for your team? How big a team you're looking to have there, Jake and Ray?
I believe we said, as far as direct, I believe we said.
Well, you know what? That's a good question. We need to come together.
Y'all need to write it down and speak it and claim it. Man, hey, it's like, I know when I claim 25 legs having 150 people there, and we're going to promote I think we're going to blow through it, actually. But here's what I will tell you, is that, guys, now's the time to be your promoter. If you're old enough to know who Don King is, it's like you got to be the best Don King in talking about getting people there. If you don't know who Don King is, it's like, who's the guy that runs the UFC? What's that guy's name? I just blank. That lives up in Vegas. Dana White. There we go. Dana White. You got to get your Dana White. Well, isn't he bald? I don't think he has hair. Is he bald? He's like Joseph. So you need your Joseph Dukes wig on and be Dana White, or you got to be some Mr. King and have fun with the promoting. But anyways, all right. Speaking of hairless and Joseph and promoting, Mr. Dukes, Bo, you got some good stuff going on. Talk to me, Bo. What's some things you're excited about right now?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm just excited to be here. This is awesome. It's exciting to see the leaderboards. Excited to see people that are stepping up and doing new stuff. Having worked with James and Pam the last 5 years, watching them come on, and it seems like every 90 days they're stepping to a different level. And then there's people on the team, and there's people throughout the Alliance. Like, I'm getting texts from folks that are, during this whole call, that are claiming, that they're stepping into a new space, that they're going to take over, that they're going to be, in Alaska, that they're going to be part of the 40/40 Fight Club. So it's claiming it. It's watching people that are, I think, owning it more than I've ever seen. And I'm super excited about that. Excited about what our team has been doing. The spring event that we had at the corporate office was huge. Having the 40/40 Fight Club there at Andy's cabin was amazing. I mean, it's like any time that we get the chance to get around people that are winning, it's just, in fact, Bell Kraus sent me a text. It said steel sharpens steel. And it reminded me that this morning, that if you want to get around, if you want to be a warrior, get around warriors. If you want to be, what did she say? She says, iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens his friend. Apparently that's a Proverbs thing. So, which fired me up, but that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about having people who are excited about changing their future. And that right there has been probably one of the biggest things for me, is watching people want to change their future.
Yeah. Ooh, it's getting fun. All right. So, Joseph, we've seen your team hit some record premium and seen some things happen. I've watched you have a record year of income last year and on pace to hit another record income and breaking that record this year. What are you projecting for yourself for revenue this year?
I'm projecting probably 600,000.
So 600,000. What'd y'all hit last year?
It was right under 4. It was like 398.
Okay. So moving from 400 to 600,000 a year, that's a big step up. That's huge. Okay. And doing it with momentum and doing it with people on your team, like Jake and Ray shooting for 300, Jared Gonzalez shooting for big number, James and Pam shooting for big numbers. So seeing other people on your team coming along with you, it's just exciting. And the what we call the crooked number comma paychecks, and then moving into the 7-figure income range. We've got people doing that are working and fighting, and it's because, hey, it's because they're focused on some of the mundane things. Joseph, I've watched you make a lot of changes over like 6-12 months. What are some of like significant changes you've made, whether in what you're doing or what you're thinking, to allow you to get more of these key, basic, mundane things done?
Well, I was making a list of different things, because it's funny when you asked me that yesterday and you're like, what are some things I had a brain fart. I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's all, it seems it's those small incremental changes. Like, I've always looked for the big, I made this decision. And so then the world became bubblegum and rainbows and everything turned out perfect for me. And that's not the reality. The reality is that it's making those small little choices. I love Megan Yakey asked me about this flag that's right here, discipline equals freedom. I put that up there so that way I love having it on my Zoom. So that way I remind myself, I'm like, oh yeah, what am I being disciplined in today? And one of the things that I know for me that's changed, at least in the last 6 months, is I've been reaching out to you and Noel and Andy more than you've been reaching out to me. Now, there was a time when you were calling me a lot and I wasn't, and it's funny. I thought back, I'm like, okay, there's this weird balance. Like, you were calling me and I was calling you some, but now I'm reaching out to you. And there's sometimes you can't take my call. There's sometimes that you're, because you're blowing up, you're going partner. You and Noel have some awesome stuff going on and so much growth. And so there would have been a time when I might have been a little butthurt when I didn't get an immediate, like, you didn't pick up the phone right away. And now I'm thinking like, no, he's on fire. And it's cool because I'm calling you, I'm sending you text, I'm sending Andy text, and it's me being accountable and being disciplined to check in with you and just let you know, hey, got some good stuff going on, or hey man, if I need if I have a challenge, you're getting right back. And so those are big things for me. I feel like my emotional maturity is increasing, at least in that area a little bit, maybe not in other areas, but I'm working on those too. Some other big things for me is so it's reaching up and asking questions, but also what you talked about before is that we're a marketing company that networks. And for years, I lived in Phoenix and I always had this mindset that I was always looking for a certain type of lead. And I would travel 6-8 hours in any direction and I'd go run appointments. I put 76,000 miles on my car every year for years. That was my average vehicle. And it was because I always thought I had to travel. So that way I could go and I could find the leads that I needed. And now with all the new lead types that we have, with what Integrity's brought to the table, and with the ARC, oh my gosh, Robbie Kraft called me out here, 2 months ago on my Today tab. I have 2,700 active clients. I have 300. It was funny. I pulled up my Today tab and I had 320 active Today tabs. And Robbie called me out on that. And it was cool because through hiring some staff to help me out, because I've been trying to get this done on my own. So that's a big thing, is maturing enough to say, okay, I can't do it all on my own. It's going to make more sense for me to get someone to help me, or a couple people. Now I have 2 people that I'm working with that's working in the office with me. I'm getting help on my Today tab, which has increased more premium. In fact, I have a client that I have a meeting with Chris Norris tomorrow. We're looking at about $360,000 worth of money that we're moving somewhere. And then we're also looking at writing 4 IULs between him and his wife and his 2 kids. But I would not have found that if I was just searching, if I was just trying to search the lead, just going out and buying more leads and not serving the clients that I've already served. So it's using the Today tab. The Today tab is so big.
So I want to slow down because you threw in so much in the last minute and a half or 2 minutes. I just want to unpack.
Sure.
So first, and I want to almost clarify, because you talked about a point where you used to chase certain lead types and drive and put a lot of miles on a car. Because somebody new may be hearing that. I want to be clear. That's the old Joseph that would do that. You've been cured for lack of better. Healed, had a healing. Because you used to believe, like, let's get into the, how you used to think. Like, you used to chase what type of leads?
Only A leads and only mortgage leads. That was it. Everything else was, in my opinion, at that point, everything else was just filler.
Everything else was, it was almost like that old Saturday Night Live skit with Mike Myers and the Scottish grocery store. If it's not Scotch, it's crap.
That's right. Everything else was crap.
If it's not mortgage protection, it's crap.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So now don't all go to YouTube. Like, see, I'd be the guy. Oh, I haven't seen that skit. I got to go to YouTube and go dig that up and watch it. But the main thing is okay, we cured you of that, right? So now you'd be like, okay, I can focus geographically. Like, when was the last time you left your home area around the 1 or 2 counties you live in Salt Lake to run business?
2 years.
Okay. So that's been a big change. So now embracing different lead types, whether direct mail, not direct mail, final expense, mortgage protection, door knocking. But then the other big thing that you jumped into was working on your Today tab because you've built a book of business. Embracing that and embracing the money side of the business between annuities, IULs, money under management with Chris Norris. That's a big thing, honing your skills there.
Right.
And then the other thing that you wove in was getting staff to help.
Yes.
Okay. So those are some big changes. And I want in case that zip by people. So now you don't have to drive like you were driving.
Right.
You know, it's like you're focused. You're home every night. You're not doing crazy stuff there, which was, hey, you had a passion to drive you. Now, talk about the passion that's driving. Like, what's the underlying thing that's driving you to make these changes, to go through? Because anytime we make a change, let's be real, anytime we step it up, there's this discomfort. There's this like, we don't want to do this. What's driving you in that, to get past that discomfort, to embrace the discomfort?
Well, it's uncomfortable. Absolutely. But everything, once we get on the other side of this, I know that it gets even greater. And then there's another level that we get to go to. And what's driving me right now is partner. Now I am more excited about having ownership of my deal. Like I love the Alliance. When I came here 15 years ago, I loved the fact that I could write my own paycheck. And I saw that through personal sales. And then I saw that even more as we started to build a team. But now, the fact that it's not just me going partner, it's the fact I'm fired up for James and Pam to go. I'm fired up for Jake and Bray and Jared and Jerry and everybody that's on my team right now and everyone that's coming on. When Andy told me, I don't know, it was over a decade ago, and he told me, he says, the reason I do what I do, I have more than enough money. The reason I do what I do is because you don't have what I got. Like, now I believe, that everybody here can have what Andy has. And that right there excites me more than anything. And it's change. And I understand it's going to take change, and it's changing my thinking, and it's changing my work, and it's changing that, yes, investing in staff, which for me, I couldn't wrap my brain around for a long time. And now it's investing in more staff, and it's investing. I mean, it's yes, we're making more money than we've ever made. I got a bigger I'm so fired up. I had a bigger tax bill this year than I've ever had before. And I'm more fired up because, and Mike reminded me, he says, dude, you got a bigger tax bill because, whoa, what was it, Mike? I didn't have enough business building expenses. It was the fact that if I would have hired 2 more staff, I would have had more productivity as opposed to paying out more taxes. And I'm just like, I love my government. I love my country, but good God, I don't know how to pay any more taxes than I got to. So it's like, so now it's like, okay, so what am I going to do now to get not only me to partner, but to help everybody else go? That's what I've seen with what we have. The texts that I'm getting from leaders are from people that are on the hunt to go partner, and they're wanting I want to cry because they want everyone on their team, everyone in the Alliance to go partner, because we have something that nobody else has. I don't care what any other company talks about. Nobody got what we got here at the Alliance. No other, nothing.
That's a big thing. It's huge. That's good. All right. Ooh-wee. Getting chills thinking about more upcoming partner announcements for people. So that's good. I want to bring up Megan just because we're going to get her in. And real quick, as we get Megan up here, Steve, I also want to hit bring up the Alaskan Cruise leaderboards. I want to acknowledge the people that have done that. Megan, I know you're at the top of this leaderboard. I also want to give a shout out to the top or the newest qualifiers, James Bubba Skinner. So Bubba up there just qualified. Jake and Ray are now qualified, 126,000. Jonathan and Megan Yakey, 129,000. Eric and Bobby Belair at 130,000. So again, we got 13 people qualified already, and it's May 26th, 25th. I guess today is the 26th. So that's exciting to know that we've got a bunch of people in the hunt. And I mean, the list of people that have a chance is pretty high. But now here's the next thing. For all that have qualified, here's what you're fighting for. Number one, you're fighting to get yourself to higher levels, whether it's the extension trip, to bring another couple on the extension trip, and to get a piece of the $1 million pie. And all you got to do is do over 125,000 of production in the year, and you're going to get a sliver or a wedge of this pie. And if we are dividing up the pie today, Jonathan Megan Yakey, $10,700. Eric and Bobby Bellell, $13,000. Stephen Holly Davis, $36,000. Brandon Gell, $42,000. Jeff and Kelly at $44,000. Mark Hutchison, $68,000. Joe and Tony Walker, $75,000. V Nod at $77,000. Jake and Bellcraft's $161,000. And Megan Wood, a little less than half of the pie. It's like she ain't even cutting a slice. She's just taking a half at this point at $465,000 bonus. So y'all, if you're like, I'm tired of hearing about Megan Wood, we'll get you over 125,000 and try to gobble up some of her pie before she gets it all. That's what I'll tell you. All right, Megan. Hey, girl, where are we at today? Are we at the new house?
Yeah, we're at the new house. I'm swinging my boy. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got a new baby. And Elijah got a new baby at the store today.
A new baby. Like, did we adopt? This is a human that we adopted?
It's it's like a baby alive, a little boy baby. And you feed it, and then it poops. So, kind of weird.
What you need. Someone else to take care of.
Right, exactly.
Does baby get his own house or bedroom at the house?
Yes, actually. Elijah's already called. The guest room is no longer a guest room. It's Baby Bo's room.
Okay, there we go. Awesome. All right, so Megan, you're out there fighting, but like I think it's we get into a lot of stuff. I think just real quick, because we probably have new people that don't know who you are. Give us a quick, like, where you're living, what were you doing when you found the Alliance?
I was a waitress and a bartender for 13 years. I lived in Darlington, Indiana. I went from making $30,000 a year as a waitress and bartender to last year I made $310,000. So pretty crazy. But yes, I was a waitress and a bartender. I'm a single mom. I worked in Crawfordsville, Indiana. I just bought a new house here in Lafayette. So I'm fired up. We're putting in a pool, an in-ground pool in August. So great things happening. But yeah, so I went from making $30,000 a year as a waitress and bartender to this month. So far, I've had $62,000 deposited into my bank account this month. So I'm fired up about that.
I think
that's double. That's double the amount that I made in a year at Applebee's.
In 1 month. So it's become 2 weeks of income now. All right. And so, I mean, based on what you're tracking, like, your run rate, your current run rate is going to put you at 700,000. It looks like, just from what I'm looking at, looks like you'll cross over 300,000 somewhere before the end of June. So for those that are wondering, and what's crazy is some of your promotions that you hit to get you some of the top contracts you hit toward the end of last year. So the impact of that back end money and renewals is yet to really be seen in full effect. So I think it's pretty cool, some of the stuff you've lined up. And I think what we're trying to do, and the fact that you're there with Elijah, is because you get to. You didn't have to send a permission slip in to say, can I get a day off work or an hour off to play with my son? So you've earned the right to do that. Some people would say, well, why does she keep working? Why does she keep pushing? So what keeps driving you to run at a high level?
I'm never satisfied. I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry for more. I'm not where I want to be. Like I get my goal, I accomplish my goal, and then I set a new goal. I want to be partners. I want to be partners. I want that freedom. So I mean, it's just always being hungry. That's locked, baby. You gotta go in the front door. It's just always wanting more, never being satisfied.
Okay, losing your audio a little bit. You still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit better there. Okay, so
Okay.
walk at you. So you talk about not being satisfied, pushing for partner, and understanding that. I think some people think that you're like, I don't know what they think. People are dismissive. Like, I don't know that they understand. You're just like, I think you embrace the grind or the mundane more than most people. And you've just chosen to become more effective instead of making it drudgery. And in doing so, I think people they like to imagine, oh, she's just special, or oh, she's got this special thing that nobody else has. Take us through, and could you walk us through, like, on a day that, say, Elijah's in school, what's your day look like? And then show us a day where where he's not with you. But on a typical day, like a Monday through Friday, where in fact, to start off, like, what's a day look like for you?
Okay, so I would drop Elijah off at school at 7:30 a.m. I'd come home, I'd have a meeting with my girls until 8:30, and then I would hit the road and start doing my door knocks until 1 a.m.
Hey, time out.
Constantly doing my door knocks.
So, Megan, when you say a meeting with my girls, like, do you have daughters? People don't know what that means. I want to kind of clarity there.
Sorry. My assistant. So I come back home, I have a meeting with my assistant, a brief meeting. And then I'm out there doing door knocks and running my appointments until 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, I have to go pick up my son from school. And then Monday through Friday, but Wednesday, my son goes to his dad. And so I am out after I drop my son off at kindergarten. I'm out from 8:30 a.m. and I leave to go pick him up at 6 o'clock p.m. So it's just like, it's constantly, what can I do with the amount of time that I have? Because I don't have a lot of time, but I plan out my night before and think, okay, what can I do with the short amount of time I have? Go and get that, Irish.
Okay. So in your door knock time, and I know we've put it out there, you did the good 30-minute training at the Spring Summit. So we could get into the details of what's the door knocks like. So I don't want to, because I know that's already out there. We got a limited time. But let's talk through a little bit on, okay, so you're out there live with clients from 8:30 till 1 or until that last appointment wraps up and going to pick up your son. What's it look like after you pick him up? Are you full on with him? Are you taking calls from agents? Are you spending more time with your staff? Are you doing any planning? Are you multitasking, hanging with him? What's that look like from once you get him from school at 2:30? What's the rest of your day or evening look like on those days?
So I pick him up from school, and then I'm pretty much like a stay-at-home mom. If clients call me, I mean, I can sneak some in. I might sneak in a secondary sale if a client calls. And then my son goes to bed at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock to plan for my next day.
What's that look like? So, I mean, somebody will say, well, God, how long does it take to plan for the next day? If she's just working for 4 hours, why would she need to spend 8 till midnight planning? I'm going to play devil's advocate. I kind of know, but I'm trying to picture what somebody asked you. What can we do to help somebody? What's some of the things that you're thinking about and literally doing from 8 a.m. to midnight? Hey, we lost your audio. Megan, I don't know where you, Megan, we're not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Not really. No, it's kind of.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's a little better. We don't have video, but we've got audio. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm planning about what I'm gonna do for them out with the next. Do they need an accidental policy? Do they need a cancer policy? What else have I not done for them yet?
Okay. So you're sitting there. What do you like? Are you looking? I'm trying to picture this. Do you have a folder for each client that you're sitting there making notes on?
Yeah. So I got folders for all my clients to figure out what else I can do for them. Elijah, you're gonna have to wait, dude. Just wait a second. I got a folder for all my clients, and then I can go through the art and also look at the names on there as well.
Okay.
But I typically do it off of my folders.
What are you doing as your team is growing? You've got staff that are recruiting. When are you working in time to talk to agents? When are you working time to talk to your staff or other things? When does that happen throughout the day?
I have my recruiter, which is Cassidy. And then I have it planned. So like on Sundays, I talk to all of them, make sure they have plenty of leads. And then I do the same thing on Wednesday night. I make sure that they have plenty of leads. And while I'm driving down the road going to appointment, that's when I follow up with agents as well.
Okay. So working in Sunday night, working in Wednesday night, working in when we're on the road, working on our planning time. Is there anything else that you're learning as you're focused on still selling at a high level and building the team? What else is different on a daily routine? What if you've got a weekend where you don't have your son? What's that look like?
I'm working from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Okay. So, and what's that happen every other weekend?
Sunday.
Does that happen every other weekend that you do that?
Yeah, every weekend.
Okay. So every other weekend, you're putting in a 12-hour day on Saturday, 12-hour day on Sunday. And then through the week, if your son's got school, 8:30 till 1:30 or 2, time with son, and then planning time from 8 till midnight. Wednesdays, working from 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m., getting him down to a little bit of planning late Wednesday night. So I'm hoping this helps people just see what the time that you're committing. And if people I'd like to learn more, we'll start. I've had some people say, well, I want to know how Megan works all these products in. And that question might come from somebody that's doesn't have their license yet. So that's a great question. I said, Cowboy, how about we get you getting your license and running your first couple appointments and app on self and let's do a couple of basics. And then we can start to gradually, because Megan didn't learn all the products to get going. A better question somebody could ask is, how did Megan get to where she's at? And based on that path, what's the things that I should focus on right now? Because I'll have all sorts of people say, I want to be just like, I want to do just like her. I say, well, start with the basics and then build on as you can handle it, what you need to do. And call like crazy. And who do you call? People that know more than you. I mean, Megan, you still call people to get help. You don't need to call me as much about product because you know more about product than I do. You've graduated beyond me, which I'm proud of. It's like I call Megan with product questions if I need some now. So I think that's kind of key, but just like you've learned to study and do all that. So Megan, proud of where you're going. Megan, what's your next big goal? What's the next big thing you're thinking about?
Just growing my team. you know, teaching my team how to do the same things that I'm doing, trying to teach people urgency, and teach them loyalty, with what we do, with loyalty, and yeah, and getting ready to, I want to go partner for my boy, and just so many things. But I mean, I love where my life is. And it's like, I like how Noelle says, like, as long as you keep going, you are going to be a millionaire. You're going to make $1 million a year. Like, we all know that. But I want to get there fast. I want to get there faster. So, you know, I just always set goals about, like, how much money do I have in my bank account? How much money am I going to make this month? How much money am I going to make this year? And based off of what I'm going to make this year, I mean, 700,000. Well, I'm a fighter, so it's like, I'm not going to make 700,000. I'm going to make $1 million. You know, like, so it's like always trying to get to that next level, just because that's what satisfies me in getting there. And then I just set a higher goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how much is sitting? You want to share how much you got sitting in your bank account now?
Yeah. $150,000.
Did you say 250?
Yeah, and I got a new house. You know, it's like,
That's after the down payment.
I've spent it. It's not like I'm saving everything I have, right? I'm not saving everything I have, but I am a saver.
So that's awesome.
So me and my boy have a lot of fun. We're going to Florida on Friday. You know, I'm to the point where I'm like, Florida again? Like, I want to go to Hawaii, or I want to go to California. Like, we have to go. Like, I don't really want to go. And that's like, you know, that's something like a spoiled person with. It's pretty awesome. Like, but I don't want to go to Florida. I'm like, I just want to be here.
All right. We got to get you a copy of the Rob Report, and you and Elijah, y'all have the Rob Report. Y'all need to start looking at destinations in there. So that would be my thing. Pick out some more destinations, because you can afford to go, and you can change it up a little bit for yourself. All right. Well, Megan, I appreciate it. We're right over 2:00, so I appreciate you sharing. And, you know, I'm hoping.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody that's been here today. That's, again, put in the work, has a purpose. They know why they're getting after it, and they're stretching themselves to do more of the mundane, whether it's more phone calls, more door knocks, more hiring, working with your staff more, reinvesting more, making adjustments, calling their current client. I mean, you hear they're pushing in different areas, and there's not one magic piece as much as, hey, do I have a reason for doing this? And is this reason is why I'm doing this big enough to help me deal with whatever discomfort that I'm going through here? And I'm hopefully everybody sees that, and you figure out what you're fighting for, so you can understand how to embrace and do more of this mundane. Guys, thank y'all. Excited to be around a team with Andy Albright and other winners and leaders. We'll see y'all. And don't forget, get yourself signed up for Family Reunion 2021. It's going to be big. Y'all take care. Bye.
Recording stop.